Okay, so we're back at Pete's house. He got new pistons and rings and base gaskets and head gaskets and everything. I went through the bottom of the block with a magnet to look for, I dropped two washers, the spacers that go on either side of the end of the connecting rod. So one thing you got to worry about when you're pulling the motor, when you're just doing the in-haul disassembly, when you pull your wrist pin out, or when you pull the clip out and then pull the wrist pin out, first of all, you can lose the clip. I didn't. And then as you pull the wrist pin out, you got to keep your hand underneath the piston. So when you pull the wrist pin out, the two washers fall in your hand. Well, one of them slipped through my fingers and went down there, and another one slipped through and went down there. So with a magnet, I was able to just get underneath here and pull them out. It was not really a big deal. So now that that's done, I'm going to go ahead with the reassembly. I'm going to start with this first piston here. I'm going to install the piston and then the jug before I do the next piston. So that'll give me some room to get my hand in here to do what I got to do. But I'm going to go ahead and get a piston ready, get the surface cleaned up a little bit more, get a piston and rings ready, and then we'll do the install. So hang on. Alright, so the good news on these new pistons is we don't need a thrust bearing. Those were those washers that fell out in between here. Those are thrust bearings. Don't need them on these ones. They don't come with them. So he's going to get me some lubrication so I can get the wrist pin lubed up and the bearing that's going in the connecting rod. And I already installed one of the clips, and I'll show you on the next piston how to install that. It's real easy to do. And then once this is installed on the, I'll put this wrist pin in, start it at least once I get lube on it, and then this will drop over, and then this pin will go through here, and out the other side, and then the next clip goes in. So I'll get to that in a minute. Look at you go.
Recording?
I'm recording. Alright, wrist pin. I'm going to get some lube on here. Okay. Piston. Get the wrist pin started. Somehow. Come on, little greasy fella. There you go.
Oh, wow.
Alrighty.
Snug as a bug going into a jug. You get that?
That's pretty funny.
That's clever, isn't it?
That was something. Alright. And now I just got to put the other clip in, and then I'll get back to you on the next one. Okay, when installing the rings, two came in a package, and on the ring you can't see it on video, but there's a little R, and that's facing up. The rings were stacked in the order that they go on the piston, so the bottom ring is slightly thicker. I'm sorry, the bottom ring is slightly thinner than the top ring. So what you want to do is just get it started in the top groove. Put this right down. Get it started in the top groove and just work it around until it's on. Okay, once it's on that side, peel it off and start working it around to the bottom groove. Okay, once it's in the bottom groove, you want to make sure that locator pin is in the gap, because if it's over the top like that, you'll never compress the ring and it'll shatter inside the jug. So now that that ring is on, we can go ahead and put the other one on. Just making sure the R is facing up, which it is there. And there you go. So the rings are on. So now I'm going to go ahead and install. Actually, I'll do that while I'm on camera. Alright, so you got the F and the arrow. The F faces the flywheel and the arrow faces the exhaust. So that's the way it wants to go in, and I want to install my wrist pin in this way. So in order to do that, I want to first put in this clip. And the way you do the clip is real simple. Push it down sideways in the bore like this, okay? And then turn it over. When you turn it over, it'll find the groove and just pop it in. And there you go. So that that clip is installed. I'm going to lube up the wrist pin and then we're going to go ahead and install it in here. Alright, before we install each one of these jugs, there is still a fair amount of cross hatching on the cylinder, but there's also some, you know, some decent wear grooves from the old pistons riding up and down on them. So I'm going to go ahead and run a hone through these, and this is the hone that we got. Okay, and they're size specific, and this size is, what is this?
For this particular unit, it was ordered as a 3 1/4, and it would fit the one 80 millimeter to 83 millimeter. So you want to buy them by the size because it fits inside the cylinder perfectly.
Okay.
When you order it right. It was about $30 on eBay.
The way you want to hone a cylinder is very simple. You're going to install the hone. Are we on tape?
Yep.
You're going to install the hone, and he's going to go ahead and hit about, push it all the way in. He's gonna hit about half speed, and then I'll show you how to run the cylinder up and down to get the right cross hatching. Go ahead. A little faster. See the speed that I'm running this cylinder in and out? That's gonna give you the proper cross hatching. A little faster.
Prior to this, he ran some 2-stroke oil in it, and after we're done here, a little soap and water to get the dust out of there.
Okay, you can see it's still dusty, or it's got a lot of grit in it, but that worked out really well. It took a lot of those lines off, and smoothed everything out really nice, put a nice crosshatch pattern in it, and then he's just going to go ahead and clean this out with soap and water, and then we'll do the install.
Nice option if your jugs are still pretty good.
Oh, I just wanted to make a note on when you're installing the rings, how I said that there was an R on the ring and the R faces up. Well, it depends on what ring you get. These rings were by a company, RMK, or R, what is this? R, oh, Riken. These are Riken piston rings. So the R was just their brand label on top. A lot of times there'll be a, you know, an up or something else indicating, but you want any label or any mark punched on the ring, you want that to face upwards. So that's all you got to know about that. Alright, first thing I did is I ran the bearing through an oil bath. 2-stroke, don't have any assembly lube, so we're just going to do this. But that's nice and lubed up. I lubed up the wrist pin, and we're going to go ahead and install it. Don't force them in the very beginning. Sometimes it's such a tight bore that sometimes they don't fit perfectly, but if you just slide it in the right way, it'll go. And just get it back to like that area there. You got this. And then you gotta find the hole. Sometimes. Where am I? Alright. And then it just slides in nice and easy.
There you clip
Push
ready.
it all the way in until it touches the clip on the other side, and then we can install this clip. Be very, very careful if you're doing this in the hall to make sure you don't drop these clips. They're once they're gone, they're gone. So I'm just gonna go ahead and kind of thread this around and in the hole. If I can find it.
That little screwdriver's on your side.
Yeah.
Before putting the jug on, I'm not sure we got it on tape before, but we got to put the base gasket down. Don't forget to do that.
And then you just want to make sure once that clip is in, that it's in the groove, and it is all the way around. All right, so that one is installed. Now I'm going to go ahead and just line up these the pins on the rings, and then Pete is going to help me. We're going to go ahead and slide this piston or this jug back down on the piston. So let's just leave it running, and we'll try to get this. Take your position.
So there's little knobs on the base gasket that tell you which way it will and won't go. So it will not go like this because the knob is on this side, so you have to flip it. And
You got it backwards, this way. See these two teeth here?
oh yeah.
Then you got the wide ones here. If you look down here, you can see the pattern. And the locating pins, one's right here and one's right there, and they coincide with it on the block. So they can only go in one way. And this is a base gasket. Once that's on, then we can go ahead and lower the jug on. I just want to make sure that I have these in the general area.
Did you lube this with your finger yet?
No, I didn't. So, I'm just going to get some 2-stroke oil on the piston, or on the cylinder, and that'll make it A, slide over the piston better, and B, a little bit of break-in oil, so when you first start this thing, it's not dry. And make sure you get on this edges. If you notice on the bottom of the jug, there's a little bit of a taper, so it makes installation a little bit easier. You don't need a ring compressor, you can do it with your hands. If you just get it close enough and push the piston down, it'll find its way and just kind of slide right over.
I'm ready when you are.
So that's good. You got it on there? Yeah, okay. So let me just get these pinched as close as I can, like that. And now you start sliding down. Hang on. Can you see?
I can kind of see.
Okay.
I can see you're not doing your job over there. I'm going to pinch your finger.
I'm not even anywhere near my finger. Okay, hang on.
Okay.
That's fun. Pull this off a minute. We're in a low light situation here too, so that doesn't help. Go ahead. Down. Stand by. You're on the
First ring?
Yeah, you're on the first ring, but you're also kind of pinching the second one. Oh.
Now we're on 0 rings.
Okay.
If you could be a little more straight up and down, that would help me. What would help you?
What I'm doing?
Perfect.
Go ahead. Okay, and now you just slide them down nice and easy and level and even. Kind of find there's the locating pins on the bottom of the cylinder, and once he finds those, it'll drop down on.
Just a little out of place. Something. It might be the gasket kicked up on us. Can you just lift up a little bit more and make sure the gasket's set properly? I think it did. Nope, that looks right. It's not sitting square.
All right, let me take a look at this real quick, we'll get back. We just slid that jug off real quick and just made sure everything was lined up. And it was, and then when we reinstalled it, pushed it down, and it found its spot. So that one is on there nice and solid, and no rocking, no nothing, so it's good. And we're gonna go ahead and do this third one, and then I'll get back to you in a minute. Okay, we just ended up in a little bit of an issue here. This is the piston that was bad, And I thought the jug was in good shape until further inspection, and the skirt of the jug is broken off. So Pete's gonna have to order one of these today, and then once it comes in, I'll continue this video. All right, well, that's where we're leaving it today. I just installed the third piston, and he's ordering a new jug. A brand new jug is what, $3 something?
$350.
$350. There's some used options out there. We're taking a look, but we don't know what we're gonna get. So I'm gonna I don't know if I'm gonna upload this video. If I do, this is the last you'll see of this video. If not, the next one will be coming out.